Last July, I went to England to get my mother into a nursing home. She had advanced Alzheimer's and dementia, which meant she was screaming 24 hours a day. It's called Who's That Lady? And this story will be out in Barron magazine, so this is just an excerpt from it. Who's that lady? I kneel down and kiss my mother. I'm not a lady, I'm your daughter. She pulls out her disapproving mother expression, but the neurons have fired and made the connections. Her brown fence teeth are disintegrating. Occasionally she spits out a tooth sliver as she mumbles her cookie. I learn to sit by her side instead of in front of her. I learn not to breathe her elderly mouth smell. Nora, her carer, and I help her to stand for the bedside commode, and her pants drop off the fleshless buttocks and thighs. Then comes the terror, her fear of falling, and the bent fingers that you have to pry one by one from the chair arms. Suddenly she steps ahead of her shadows and forms a question. Where's your brother? He's at work. At work? That's ridiculous. Just as swiftly, her shadow's malicious fingers catch up with her. Please, tell me, I want to be good. Please, please. It goes on for hours, the high-pitched screaming that has no apparent focus, that cannot be calmed. She calls for the dead. Sister, Mama, Papa, please, get up, please. We rub her back, her arms, we stroke her face. She pushes us away, wants the footstool, kicks it over. Language gapes between us, and she is angry. Why don't we know her language when she has to put up with ours? Has to put up with being talked to like a languageless infant, has to be put up with being draped with a plastic sheet, to be fed with mouthfuls that are too large, too small, too hot, too cold. Can no one make a decent cup of tea? Has to endure being washed and dressed in clothes that barely stay on, has to listen to people discussing her condition, too quietly for her to hear, and the stupid hearing aid doesn't work anyway. Has to now endure the daughter, the unbeliever, after all these years, still resisting Jesus. She decides to brush her teeth. I bring the basin toothbrush with a small squirt of toothpaste and a mug of water. She accepts the toothbrush and uses both hands to angle it into the right position. She brushes quite vigorously. We're both pleased. She spits toothpaste into the basin. Where's the blimmin' water? I hand her the mug. Here's your blimmin' water. Her wheezing laugh, the way I remember it. We laugh together. The afternoon is less happy. Nora helps her to the hospital bed where I'm sitting. I put my arm around her. She bends forward. I can't do anything. I stroke her arm. I know it's very hard. Please, please, please let me go. Please. I lean my head against hers. It's okay. You can go. She looks at me. I can? Her eyes stream. Mine too. The sticky July temperature finally drops, but I cannot understand why my Airbnb room stays hot even though I have the fan cranked up. I leave her open a narrow cupboard door and find the water heater. No wonder the fan can't compete. As can happen with Alzheimer's patients, the medication is ineffective. We try to calm her mounting anguish, but by the afternoon she is screaming non-stop. She will listen briefly and scream again. Her anxiety is thick and feverish. Her hands and feet are cold. We are sweating, hauling her on and off the commode, running to fetch tea that she refuses or kicks over. I go back to my room with the water heater and watch TV. I wake up between 3 and 4 a.m. and wait until it's light enough to go out. I walk the streets and the highways and the wooded trails. I walk into my mother's house and into her pinched eyebrows ridged into her forehead, her unwashed ears, the wailing and shouting, the smell of piss that lingers after the commode has been emptied and cleaned. Breath by breath, she tells Nora, tell the girl not to have hard feelings. Even in her demented state, she still tries, in crumbling words, to reach her stubborn, godless daughter. And what are you going to do? I will love my family and work with my students and live my life the best way possible. My hallmark moment delivered bluntly with no flowers. She looks away. She often looks away. I don't know how much she understands, but I do know that by refusing her God, I have refused her. Outside it is relentlessly hot. Inside our weather rages. Everything smells like it's about to burn, like we're being herded, flailing into a corner. She's biting and kicking and screaming, get out, you damn bitch! Nora backs away. I sit down with my mother and remind her we need to be nice to Nora. My mother stares at me through her shifting veils. What for? The day screams on. I watch the clock till we can make lunch. I watch the clock until it's time for Nora's break. She rushes out of the house like she's not coming back, and I want to rush with her. I watch the clock until she comes back. We watch the clock until my brother comes home from work, and we talk about what to do next. We wait for the next hour, for the morning, for the social worker, for the doctor to call back. We hitch each event onto our backs and carry it to the next. We watch while she screams, while we stroke her hair desperately, while she occasionally falls silent, eyes rolling back and forth under closed lids, mouth sagging, fingers working her skirt. On the trail, one morning, I'm adventurous and try a different path and become lost. I'm on the far side of the woods. If I can just reach them, I will find the right way. I decide to cross a field of tall grass, except it isn't just grass. It's knotted with brambles. I'm wearing shorts. By the time I scramble over a tall wooden fence, my legs look like they've been through a cheese grater. We watch her as she sleeps, whispering because our voices disturb her and she'll start screaming again. She has become some terrible goddess we cannot appease. We bring offerings, we bring bright faces, we bring the religious songs she loves so well, but her religion is now a torture wheel. She cannot do good, she cannot earn her way. She is trapped, turning broken bone by broken bone, unable to do anything except believe. And that is not enough. I dig out her old hymnal and croak my way through a few hymns. She listens and nods. Then I start. Softly and tenderly, Jesus is calling. She tries out a few words. Come home. Come home. She pats my hand. Someone has sent flowers. Carnations, thistles, and one white rosebud. It opens, looking ready to float out a delicate light scent. It smells of nothing. The phone rings. It's the social worker. My mother is screaming, "Come here!" There is anger in my voice, even as I try to make it calm. I have to take this call, Mum. You stay here, stupid girl. You don't understand anything. Something dark boils up and I long to scream back. I sit on the footstool, wiping the drool from her chin as she sleeps, head back, mouth drooping, one eye open, looking to another country, another daughter, a land that is brighter than day. Her eyes flutter open. I lean forward. Would you like a cup of tea? She speaks, half words, half fuddle, but the tone is gentle, and there is a smile for me. Get up, you lazy lump, get up. She's cursing herself as she wriggles out of the chair, legs flailing sideways. I ask questions. Tea? Biscuit? Toilet? No. Finally, she agrees to get up. I hold her hands and we lurch to the bathroom. She follows while I walk backwards, one half step at a time, a sad swaying listing, left. It is only 15 steps to the bathroom, but she stops halfway. She is in danger of collapsing, and I grasp her around her body. She's so much shorter now. Her head is on my shoulder, mouth pressed against my shirt. I lower her onto the toilet seat. She is proud to be sitting there instead of the awful commode. She commands paper to be lifted up, to retrace our slow, spiraling Ravel's waltz back into the living room. Some intuitive tendril is still searching the air, searching my face when I cheerfully sing hymns written for a God I do not believe in. When I say I love her, she is surprised. Well, that's nice. She does not reach for my hand. I wonder what I love you means to each of us. We have come too far, and there is more of this journey, the feeding and cleaning and toileting, and the slow stagger from one moment to the next, with longer grace periods of exhausted sleep. We go on. Thank you.